showing no bias for any organization, industry, or party. This is the NoBS World News.
Good day, Americans. Stand by for news. A Delta Airlines jet flying in snowy conditions today overturned after touching down at Toronto's Pearson International Airport. 8 people were injured, 1 critical, but still in stable condition. Much of the country is bracing for more winter weather this week, beginning with a cold front hitting the central and northeastern parts of the states with snow, ice, and ferocious winds. In Kentucky over the weekend, another 11 people died and another 1,000 were rescued from a combination of severe floodwaters and extreme winter cold. The suspected leader of a cult-like group known as the Zizians has been arrested in Maryland, along with another member of that group. Maryland State Police said today that Jack Lasota, 34, was arrested along with Michelle Zajko, 38, of Media, Pennsylvania. They face multiple charges, including trespassing and illegal possession of a handgun, and they may be linked to at least 6 deaths, including U.S. Border Patrol agent David Malin, who was shot last month near the Canadian border. A Wyoming woman tested positive today for H5N1 avian influenza and has been hospitalized in Platte County there. The Wyoming Department of Health says this is the state's first human case for bird flu, although some cattle contracted the disease last year. Authorities said the woman became sick days after her flock of chickens became ill and died. 5,200 employees on probationary status at the National Institute of Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and other federal agencies all received letters of termination late last week. The layoffs also included 500 workers on probation at the Federal Aviation Administration. This according to the Professional Aviation Safety Specialists Union, which is a division of the AFL-CIO. President Donald Trump said his administration is kickstarting controversial negotiations with the Kremlin to end the war in Ukraine once and for all. After speaking with President Vladimir Putin last week, President Trump said his Russian counterpart also wants to stop fighting. However, Russian drone attacks last night in eastern and southern Ukraine killed 3 people and injured another 12. And Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has asked that the EU stand by to protect them should NATO and the U.S. refuse. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is in Saudi Arabia today, starting negotiations for the end of the wars in Ukraine and Gaza. Rubio is set to meet with Kremlin officials to discuss the Russian-Ukraine war without participation from the Kiev officials. Rubio's team today includes National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff. They also plan to speak with Saudi officials regarding a new home for the Palestinians. In Israel, families of Israeli hostages held by Hamas mark their 500th day of captivity today with a rally encouraging supporters to make a 500-minute fast in remembrance of the captives. Under a ceasefire agreement brokered by the United States and France last fall to end the 14 months of war between Israel and Hezbollah. Israeli troops had 90 days to withdraw from southern Lebanon and allow the Lebanese army to regain that area. However, the deadline is tomorrow, and the Israeli army remains in place. The Vatican said on Monday that Pope Francis is being treated for a respiratory tract infection. Officials said the 88-year-old is experiencing a, quote, complex clinical situation and will remain hospitalized until further notice. M23 rebels in the Democratic Republic of the Congo captured the eastern city of Bukavu today, backed by Rwandan forces. The country's Ministry of Communication and Media posted this today on X. They said that this is the second major city in the mineral-rich Kivu region to fall in 3 weeks. South Korea's Personal Information Protection Commission has temporarily banned downloads of the Chinese-based DeepSeek artificial intelligence application. This until it can learn more about how the Chinese AI lab is using or handling user data. According to the Austrian State Police Chief Michaela Kohlwies, a man sworn allegiance to the Islamic State before killing a 14-year-old boy and injuring 5 others this weekend. The attack occurred Saturday in the afternoon near the Italy-Slovenia border in the state of Carinthia. Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency is seeking unprecedented access to an internal revenue service database, which holds a slew of highly private tax data files on millions of American citizens. Doge software engineer Gavin Klidger is likely to be granted imminent access to that system. This according to the Washington Post, ABC News, and CNN this morning. And finally, in the news today, a Brazilian couple celebrated their 84th wedding anniversary this last week, and officially they earned their place in the Guinness World Records for the longest marriage for a living couple. Manuel Angelem Dino, 105 years old, Marla de Souza Dino, 101, married on Valentine's Day in the year 1940. And that's today's No BS World News. I'm H.L. Arledge. And for this Monday in February 2025, that's the way it is.